Let's modify the previous tutorial to create animation. I'll be scrolling through the entire tutorial so that you can see everything in context and stitch this together. As before, I've added bookmarks where code has changed since the previous tutorial. Win main, initializing function pointers, the window class to fill out, registering the class, creating the window. We've added two changes here: the initial width and height of the window. Before, we were using these defaults here. This is because we want to see the entire window in context when demonstrating. We'll be using 30 frames per second. By flushing the buffer, we'll be able to see the width and height of the client area while the program is running, rather than after it has closed. Update bitmap is where we've added the animation. We've changed these three variables to constants. That's how I was using them. That's why they were all capital in the first place. This gives the program more syntactical correctness, or type safety, whatever you'd like to call it. Animation ticks is used to control the pacing of the animation. All we're doing is dividing the ticks by 60 just to slow it down, otherwise it might be a little bit stroby. This block should look familiar. Here's the old formula, here's the new formula with the animation ticks in it. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to make the center point of the quadrant fluctuate right and left and up and down. And we use this by multiplying by cosine and sine. Cosine and sine fluctuate between -1 and 1. So if we take the center point and we either subtract 100% of the center point or add 100% of the center point, right? Because if you multiply by 1, that's like multiplying by 100%. So this is like adding 100% or subtracting 100%, depending on the value of this, right? I'm bad at explaining things sometimes. Let's just run this so you'll get an idea of what's going on. Let me drag the window. So you can see that the center point is fluctuating right and left and also up and down. And if you're paying attention, you will see that we are drawing an oval. If the screen was a perfect square, we would be drawing a circle. No surprise, right? Now, you may be wondering why width and height here are 239 and 473. Because if you remember, we used 255 and 512 way up here. Let me see if I can get up here, right? 255 and 512. Well, the reason for that is this 255 and 512 for create window is the window rectangle, which includes the borders and title bar, while this width and height is the area of the client region, right? And the client region is the region you draw to, which excludes that title bar and that border, right? So that's why it's close to 255 and it's close to 512, but it's not quite there because we've subtracted the title bar and the borders. Going back down to where we were, here's the formulas we were just reviewing. We're going to keep on scrolling so you can get the context of the entire program. Our Windows procedure. Nothing new in here, but I just want to scroll through everything so you get the entire context of the program, so that if you want to, you can stitch this together from the screen. You can still email me for source code if you would like to do that. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And then credits for what this is based on. With that, I'll end here on the build script so you can take a look at that.